Pecco gets a little bit of a hit rate, and that is up against Horror Esports. It's just sad news for the Purple Hearts. They're not really getting much in return, but we'll have to see if they would be able to still form up an exchange because RQ is currently boxed into these compounds.
Oh, not exactly sure what is happening with Horror Esports, but the aggression isn't just there. I've been looking for some consistency, but Horror Esports might not be in the mood. I don't know, to pick up the pace, or perhaps they haven't found the rhythm just yet. But here's a chance for them to prove themselves yet again versus RQ. They've got Sky right here doing a massive spray up against Genfos, but Genfos was able to recuperate from that exchange. Jiggle right now is the one pretty close with RQ. Now he's trying to jiggle his way 2v1 situation. Who is going to be winning the fight? Is it going to be Jiggle or is it going to be RQ?
Just look at how aggressive they're playing this one now. Diggle with the jump shot. Actually finds the connection once again, but he's being brought down pretty low. Gotta go in for the reload. Now he's pretty much bunched inside. And just like that, the swings over again. Horror Esports, they're turning the tides around. But once again, all the outskirts, this is the rival of BTR. Knocking down one of his teammates. And now only down to Jiggle. They go in for the rescue. And it's going to be Nugget that tries to actually rescue him, but no fear. He's going to get the angles right, and this is a perfect chance for them to shut down RRQ.
Okay, here we go. This is what I'm talking about. Horror Esports stepping onto the pedal and just making things happen for them. You know, the aggression, we've been looking for that one since the get-go. Day number 1 wasn't really exactly a good run for them, but perhaps, the tide can change for day number 2. So hopefully they get to the latter stages of this round just to make sure that they get enough points. But okay, BTR, come on. Horror Esports, just as we were praising them, got slaughtered down the way, courtesy of the Bigatron.
Yeah, last I checked, Coach Ken is actually in this matchup, so of course, kudos to him. He called the shots, and things are looking really well. They managed to eventually wipe away the weakened side of Horror Esports. While this fight have yet to be settled with this three-way warfare, we see RW taking the top cut of the map. This Vampire Esports looking for that push. Not too sure if they're going to check every single nuke and credit, but long has been sought out, and just like that, it's going to be answered back. Zook, he can only do so much, so that's going to be Weibo Gaming with another early exit. He's falling right in, and it hits directly onto Schweppes.
Hey, that was a great execution coming from Vampires when they went up against Weibo Gaming, but unfortunately, Rogue Warriors was able to pick up their location, and now they're retaliating over Vampire Esports. But then again, Vampire was able to pull through.
Inside his own, just like Thunder Talk, they've been happy to, of course, go in for further commitment. Langsung,
and to kind of move forward. And that paved the way, for NS Red Force to pick up Binny and put him inside the car, move over to Doc C to try and save him.
Yeah, speaking of which, currently, all of these angles are looking perfect for D plus Q as the rest of Four Miracle Vibes, they got bunched up over on the corner. They just arrived to the scene, and just like that, it's just free pickings for the rest of D plus Q to just shut them off completely. Looking good so far. Vampire Esports sees this as a golden opportunity to add more points in order to close the gap between them as well as for MV. We're holding on to second spot. Take a quick look as they spot out the rest of Langsung Red Force right across the corner. Onsens, he's just hoping not to get caught up as they're looking to go for the wide wraparound and then perhaps recommit to the fight up against Doxy.
Okay, here we go. Doxy trying to stick an attack here up against Vampire Esports, but he's getting damaged as well. Oh man, from another angle, and it was Ventoras of Vampire Esports, and now they are waiving their 10 elimination points. Vampire Esports on a rampage here, but unfortunately though for Camel, aka Schweppes, he's already out of the game here, but he does have 1 point under his name, so it is still a-okay. Langsung Red Force easy on the screen right now. Last surviving member of the Korean team was able to shut down Tony K, so that is a revenge right there. But here comes Onsen now. Let's see if he can follow through. Here comes the exchange. Onsen with an S12K. Oh, completely missed that opportunity to take the opponent down. Or he comes teasing from the second floor down to the ground floor. But great anticipation from Vampire. And now NS Red Force out of the game.
That's crazy. That's 12 points already for Vampire Esports. How many teams did they took on throughout the course of the run? You saw that balance out PECAH, and now even infiltrating Langsung Force to just overwhelm them, shutting them off completely. 12 points added to the tally, and if they secure a chicken dinner, they can race up against the rest of Formecco Vibes, who's no longer in this match.
Okay. It's quiet for now. It's pretty vanilla. Everyone is killing nothing but time at the moment. Squash Boo on
securing a lot more of the region as compared to BTR, who needs to face off against numerous teams who are going to make that climb upwards. So it's looking a little bit tough as maybe they try to book a spot, but the Millie as they move forward is way B plus Kia that will try to look to pressure them. And speaking of which, they do get the trade out there in return. So good work coming in from Vampire Esports to be able to hold down the line.
Okay. I mean, I think for BTR, right? They do have that high ground advantage, though. So that's 1 point up against their arsenal. Yes, they're going to be facing off with quite a number of teams here, but Alpha 7 will definitely be busy taking care of business up against Thunder Talk Gaming. And I think that would be the only time that they can focus on a BTR. Not if Vampire Esports will be entering from the southwest side as well, so big potential right there to have an altercation with Alpha 7. But then again, it all boils down on how good these teams are at executing all of their plans. I mean, planning is just 50%, and the other 50% is the execution.
Indeed, and look at the current execution, Thunder Talk Gaming. They need to brute force their way out of this one as they're just by the outskirts, also being punched in by the team over the spine of the hill. This is not looking all too clear-cut as we are looking at a big fight ruptured as Vampire Esports tries to push right through. They're being held right back, but these are dropping in. Continue! He's trying to survive, but not quite enough! Once again, it's Vampire Esports doing the damage, but that is going to be a streak of kills to be broken out. There are 13 points. Make that 14 as the Massive Lees close it out at a big number, just like how Alpha 7 did in the round of rank.
Vampires popping off. 14 before they exited the game. Now Alpha 7 again just anticipated the attack up against Thunder Talk Gaming. Jay's a little bit low on the HP here, so King is trying to buy some time for his teammate to reset. But here comes LGD Gaming now. M2 doing a massive spree up against B plus Kia. But oh, Chips, what a brutal shot to the face! And that puts down the rest of LGD, which brings us down just 5 teams remaining. Contra.
Yeah, it's just so quick as we are already looking into all these teams fighting for that space up on the hillside. The nades are primed right through. It's going to be pretty close as we see the rest of Carrillo and A7 tries to actually trade right back, unallowing Sing to actually push right through. It's just going to be straightforward angles for A7 to work with.
Oh man, Carrillo is still down at the moment. Now Squash Boo needs to keep SnowX at bay, but SnowX is kind of going back and forth. He does have the low ground in this situation, but then again, A7 is trying to do a reset here, so they're a little bit disoriented. Rivo trying to find a good vantage point to try and take down SnowX, but let's see if SnowX can actually put down at least one player from A7. Now he was able to do a lot of damage, but not enough because it was a 2v1, and SnowX just missed that opportunity to serve that revenge up against Alpha 7.
Now it's BTR, A7, and D plus Kia. Can I have my vote back for Alpha 7? Because I was told that they were not in this round, but you know, of course, I'll be happy for any of these guys. And a big bounce back performance coming in from BTR, where even the likes of D plus Kia was sort of absent coming in from the other portion of the matches being played out. BTR, they've been holding over on the high ground for a very long time. Now sees a little bit more of that involvement against a very formidable side as Mafioso always looks super sharp on the long-range approach, but the blue zone's already chipping some of his health bars, so he got to be very mindful of that.
Okay, if okay, currently this is a Mexican standoff happening because we still have 3 more teams here. Alpha 7, they do have a choice whether to go up against D plus Kia or go up against Bigatron. But technically, there's no pressure just yet for teams to actually push forward. But then again, D plus Kia found an opening and took down Mafioso from that spray, which is, of course, an effective attack coming from D plus Kia and puts Alpha 7 in a world of trouble at the moment.
It definitely is. D plus Kia. They're just hoping to actually hold firm onto that region. Also does actually get the cash onto Mafioso. And Alpha 7, with one member out, they're just trying to see if they could just find any form of angles to work with. Also just primes in the grenade, slowly tagging onto Revo. So they got to also fall back for a little bit. So this is where it gets really awkward, right? Where you have that other corner of the street, which is kind of unreachable. We will see the rest of BTR to be able to go in for that form of expansion. Meanwhile, these 2 teams are just slowly tagging upon each other.
Honestly, BTR already has this one in the bag. All they need to do is just play their cards right and make a good, series of decisions here. Because I can see that Alpha 7 will definitely be, challenging up the boards of D plus Kia. For now, Osal is the one pretty close to Alpha 7, getting all the information the team needs. But yeah, we'll just have to wait until the circle shrinks again, perhaps, but not if Vian finds an opening again. And now Alpha 7 Squash is down on the ground here, and with the amount of pressure that they have feeling right now coming from D plus Kia, a pickup can be tricky here.
Very, very tricky, if you ask me. As you can see, the pursuit is coming right through. D plus Kia wants to actually call the entire party to chime in on this one, where Chips pushing right through. It's all down to Carrillo on that UMP as he's getting his attention span pulled left, right, center. Where exactly will he actually answer back? And there we go. Also lands the blow, but it's still gonna be him going 1-for-1. Carrillo holding them down and just locked that. D plus Kia shuts them out. Now it's the entire BTR versus Osal.
All right, here we go, ladies and gents. D plus Kia showing us the reason why they're the champions of the PMPS. Currently, D plus Kia is doing a reset, prepping themselves up to go up against a BTR. This is the last 2 teams fighting for the winner chicken dinner. Oh man, we've been throwing nades. We can see a lot of nades actually being thrown by BTR as well. Also is a little bit low on the HP here, but Voxy already trying to make a move here, going off angle, but Cheeps was able to get a whiff of that one, but Voxy stepping back. Here comes another nade, and also got knocked down on the ground hard.
Yeah, it's all down to 1, so it's all about buying time and space. BTR, they're looking to shut this one down, or can there be a miracle coming out of that D plus Kia? This is gonna be a tough one.
Miracle.
And speaking of which, 2 members of BTR is not with that grenade, the miracle, like you called it.
Oh man, my head is already aching. The miracle that we have been looking for just happened on the screen. So I guess if you believe it, it will definitely happen. But here comes the next stage. BTR trying to recuperate, trying to get a whiff of where Chips is exactly. But this is a one-man show right now coming from D plus Kia.
It definitely is, but so far the fight is being very well managed. Foxy now brings in the remember down. So like you said, 1 versus 3. Can this be the turning point here being brought to light from Fabian on that low ground, just trying to cut through the streets? BTR trying to be a little bit more composed. Voxy now pushing right through. They should be able to sniff this one out just right behind the tree. Is he gonna be able to pull it out? Brody goes down. This could be it. A ring around the rosy, but BTR will have this one in the bag. And once again, Prod has outdone us once more.
Oh my goodness, but D plus Kia certainly did not make it easy for Big